DP Archana madam has joined.
No, I am just say
Okay.
sorry, Archana
I
madam.
think our guest has already joined, Mr. Rizwan.
Yeah.
Welcome.
जय हिंद दोस्तों।
Hello everyone.
Rizwan.
And today I'm here to deliver the session on do's and don'ts, especially during the COVID-19 time, but with regards to the cyber security world. Good afternoon, Usha madam.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm very good.
It's very nice. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. We'll be just beginning in few minutes. Dr. Himanshu Davda. DP?
Ma'am, Archana ma'am is there. I am just saying it. Himanshu sir has joined.
Yeah.
Very good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Archana. How are you?
I'll just call up Himanshu sir. I think.
Yeah, I'll call. Dipu, I'll call. Because I already put a message. I think he is trying to join. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm very sure this is a topic which is near to everyone's heart. Dr. Himanshu would be joining shortly, but nevertheless, we are starting the program. Request Archana Bide Madam to introduce a very honored speaker for today morning, very young, dynamic, Mr. Rizwan Sheikh.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to introduce our speaker of the day, Mr. Rizwan Sheikh. Mr. Rizwan Sheikh is a well-recognized name in the cyber world. He has been conducting ethical hacking trainings and providing information security services across the globe for 7+ years. And it's very creditable looking at his age today. Rizwan has been invited by many corporates like Wipro, Accenture, Capgemini, Trend Micro, TCS, HCL, and others, and also some leading institutes of India, including IITs and NITs, for conducting workshops, seminars, boot camps, and training for ethical hacking and for information security. His area of expertise includes vulnerability assessment, information security audits, penetration testing, computer forensics, and cyber law, just to name a few. Rizwan started his career at the age of 17. The very first endeavor in this field brought him into limelight when he protected many Indian websites from getting defaced by Pakistan Cyber Army, where he played a major role in finding out the plan with pseudonym, that is using a false identity. Remarkably, he was only 18 years of age at that time. Rizwan started his career very early and he is a very successful bug detector. He has contributed in loophole detection for institutes like Indian Railways, Monster India, PKF Group, etc. He has resolved many cybercrime cases, and is a security advisor for various reputed organizations and banks. It's an immense pleasure to have you here with us today. So I welcome you and I hand over the dais to you. Over to you, Rizwan. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the wonderful introduction. So I hope everyone is safe, and this is the lockdown time where we can actually utilize this particular time period to utilize this duration in increasing some of our skill sets. As well as one thing I would like to share, being working with multiple law enforcement departments, I have personally visited few of the police department and just gathered the information of the recent types of crimes which are happening. And one surprising thing which I found was the number of physical crimes has drastically reduced. We have seen only certain domestic violence and certain diverse cases are live right now. Rest all physical crime cases almost reduced to none. But we have seen a spurt growth of cyber crime cases. Because of lockdown period, everyone is working from home, everyone is having access to the internet, and they are trying to connect to their family relatives. Even for the work and business, they go online on various softwares. Either it's video conference software as well as many chatting messengers. Suddenly, there is an increase in the use of internet, and this indirectly resulted in giving the opportunity to cyber criminals to make use of this time duration and perform any kind of hack attacks as well as fraudulent activities. So what I've done is I have prepared a small minor presentation with regards to the current scenario, the common types of crimes which are happening in the current time, and how to basically prevent ourselves and counter those kind of attacks, as well as we'll be displaying some live demonstration of hacking with regards to the same. So what I'm going to do is I will be disabling my video and I will be sharing my screen. So you would be hearing me and watching my screen, but my video would be disabled. Any query in between, feel free to just put it on the chat box and I'll definitely try to help in between. So here I'm going to share my screen with everyone. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
Okay. Fine. Now, I'm using a third-party software named VirtualBox. Now, this VirtualBox software allows me to install multiple operating systems inside an existing OS. So right now, I'm using a laptop of Apple, which has Mac operating system in it. Without switching off Mac, I can directly run another OS. So I have a version of Windows and a version of Linux known as Kali. So first of all, I will switch on Windows operating system over here. Windows OS, the most commonly used operating system, almost everyone has this OS with them. I'll just go through top 8 common crimes which are very happening in the current time. So in the current phase, in the current time frame, there are many common types of attack which are very much active in the lockdown period. So the first attack which I want to discuss is known as email phishing. Now, if you carefully see this, I have mixed two keywords. Email scam and spam is different, whereas phishing is different. But email phishing is something where phishing is done using certain spoof mails or by using cyber squatting technique. The word cyber squatting, when I say, this particular word has a meaning where a similar domain is being registered. For example, the original domain of who is who.int. In order to perform cyber squatting, a hacker or a fraudulent person would register a similar looking domain name, something like who.int.in or .com. The domain looks something similar. Now, imagine the official email ID of who is info@who.int. So somewhere down the line, the fraudulent person would create an email account, something like info@whoint.com. This is just an example. I've given the domain name. There might be possibility the domain names are generally used by certain companies or organizations. It's just for our understanding. So suppose fraudulent person has created a similar looking domain name and created an email account on it. He can actually send an email to mass audience by certain links in it or certain kind of attachments. The recipients may consider the email is actually from the original WHO or UNICEF or any other organization, and they typically target hospitals, pharmacy firms, governments, etc. So people considering it as a genuine email, they click on it and they ended up losing their information either through a phishing link or through any malware. So email phishing performed usually using cyber squatting technique, similar domain names. This is very commonly happening. I've seen more than 1-2 lakh or half the million of emails being sent by these kind of fraudulent people every day. And they, even if they consider 1% as success ratio, still the amount would be very huge of the number of people who are affected and injected. Coming to the second part, SMS phishing. The same thing is happening over SMS and chatting messengers. Fake links of websites. There have been fake applications launched. There have been many of the links which are acting as the data analytics or sharing of corona cases links. But back in the backend, they may contain a malicious script, or it may be any kind of fraudulent link which may have the phishing capability, and it may ask you credentials to log in or sign up, and you may end up losing. So I've seen even on WhatsApp chatting messengers, many a times a link been shared, and even I've seen people are sharing it themselves. So always consider reading out the proper domain name, finding out what domain is genuine, what domain is false. Third one, discounted tools on darknet. Now this is something where a crime we have seen is darknet is the place on the internet which is inaccessible by common people, and it is actually 96% of the internet. The internet which we use, right from Google, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Yahoo, whatsoever website, this is actually just 4% of the internet. The remaining 96% is basically accessible only by Tor web browser, and those sites have the top level domain as .onion, O-N-I-O-N. Now over .onion TLD, there are many domains hosted which has many illegal information as well. Right from drug selling to pornography to various other things are being sold over darknet. And Bitcoin is the only cryptocurrency which works as an exchange to get the tools and softwares or whatsoever you need on the darknet. Now, one thing we have seen is many people have launched fake websites on darknet, offering the very kind of malicious trojans, malware scripts. And it's like they are hacking the hackers or fooling the criminals themselves. So the person who is willing to buy certain products from darknet is indirectly getting scammed himself. So this is something common we have seen. The number of reported cases is almost nil because no one comes up and reports such things, but this is very commonly happening over darknet. Fourth one, very important for every one of us in the current scenario as well as after this particular lockdown period as well. There's something known as e-commerce scam. E-commerce websites are the websites which are basically providing the information or the providing. I just disable the chat box which I switched on unintentionally. Okay. Now, e-commerce is basically the websites like Amazon, Flipkart. We know the famous websites. Now, many of such websites have stopped their services and deliveries during the lockdown period because of various government and different policies. And due to the safety, they have recently started in some of the zones. But during this scenario, we have seen a spurt growth in the newly launched e-commerce websites, which were trying to help people in their locality. I've seen many of the websites launched specifically for any particular district or city, where individuals who are launching the websites of online e-commerce and selling the products of daily needs or requirement. There have been many websites which deliver fruits as well as daily food packages. People can buy it just by sitting at their home. They can make the online payment and delivery is done. But one thing we have seen is since all these websites are newly launched, there are websites which are launched as an e-commerce site which do not do the delivery but take the money from people. So now identifying and differentiating which site is real, which site is fake is very tough since all the sites are newly launched. And here we have to go through the review section of the basically on Google and certain review websites where we can actually find out whether these are real sites or the scamming sites. Fifth one, another very important part, ransomware attacks. The word ransom refers in physical world as well, where kidnapping is done and kidnappers usually demand the ransom amount to leave the person. In the similar way, in our virtual world environment, ransomware is something where a malicious software get injected in your system and it is going to lock and encrypt all the files and folders present inside your computer system. And a message will pop up saying that in order to get your files back, you have to pay this much ransom amount. The amount they demand is in Bitcoin, again an untrackable currency. And the encryption usually is of so high level that if you go to decrypt it manually, it may take ages. So the only option remains is paying the hackers and getting the files back or losing your files. So ransomware basically started in the year 2009-2010 when Bitcoin was actually launched. And the world's first ransomware was known as CryptoLocker. CryptoLocker has a very big history where people were confused because till now, till the year 2009-10, there was virus, trojans, and other malwares where these malicious applications either used to delete any files from your system or they used to steal the data. But ransomware, for the first of its kind, they came up and it was neither stealing your data nor deleting your data. What it was doing was, it was locking your data, encrypting it so that you yourself cannot read your data and demanding a ransom amount to get it decrypted. So this was as a surprise came up in the earlier time. Now there are many ransomwares which came and created havoc, including WannaCry ransomware, one of the biggest mass infection it has across the globe. Petya and Petrap was another ransomware which hacked many systems globally. And recently there are a few other ransomwares which started affecting many companies as well. Sixth one, something important and something contradictory were Chinese softwares. Now this Chinese softwares basically, if you see in the physical world environment, because of the current virus, many allegations have been made against China as well, saying that the origin of coronavirus is actually from the Wuhan lab of China. And in the virtual world environment, these allegations have been on since a very long time. There have been allegations made against certain US companies as well, but of course, China softwares are already in limelight. Many of the Chinese softwares are acting as a spying tool, where they indirectly spying on data of various people, whosoever is using that particular thing. Including many allegations have been made against the China government for their Privacy Act, where one of the laws line they say is basically any data passing through Chinese server or server hosted in China should be made available to China government if they want to. Even if it's encrypted, decryption should be done, data should be shared if government requests. So this means any of the software or application we rely on, even for personal or business purpose, if it's hosted in China, definitely our data can be spied upon. Seventh and eighth one are something very important. I will be beginning with the seventh point, where mobile malware. This is one of the very dangerous thing in the current time. Mobile malware is basically a malicious software or an APK file for your Android phone, which once injected in your cell phone is going to view full remote access of your cell phone to the hacker. Just to share a live example of this, I made certain genuine softwares. I made a scientific calculator for study purpose. Many of the students are using it. I made a dictionary software. Then I made certain other softwares as well. All these were APK files. I even uploaded few of them on the Google Play Store officially so that people can download and use it. In the similar fashion, we have made one more APK file, which is actually a Trojan file. And the name I have given to that file was android.apk. Now, like we install any software in the cell phone, android.apk file is actually a Trojan file which can be installed in anyone's cell phone. By any way or medium, if the hacker or a person like me, if I want to actually do it for testing purpose, I want the person, any individual to get this file injected or installed in the system, I can send it over WhatsApp, I can send it over email, or I can perform any social engineering kind of attack where I can force the person to download this particular file and install it. Once the file is installed in the cell phone, entire cell phone will be remotely accessible to my database. So I have certain files which are already prepared. Now here is android.apk. I have a cell phone in my hand. I'm using Apple phone. I have another phone with me where I have already installed this APK file. I ran this file already. I'll directly take you to the database of my malware where I'm actually fetching this particular data. And here it is. You can see we call this with the name Pristine Spy. Since we are made in our company, I just log in over here and you can see when I log in, what all information I am fetching. So I can see database is being updated. Many of the things are not completely fetched, but it's still updating. So you can see what all informations are available. The number one thing is call logs. When I click on the call log button, I actually see all incoming, outgoing, and missed calls data with date, time, duration available in the database. So we can actually find out each and every call that is being made, incoming, outgoing, and missed calls. Not only this, but there is one more option with the name call recordings. So not only the call logs, but each and every recordings, what has spoken on the call can be heard. So this is just for the testing purpose we have installed in our cell phone, but imagine the scenario if it's installed in your phone or anyone's phone and you have certain private data with you, definitely it's a big threat to your data as well. Messages, it's one of the best options which actually reveals out all the inbox and sent SMSs. Then we have the contact book, which reveals entire contact phone book information that is saved in your cell phone. Mic recorder is one of the best options which allows you to remotely trigger the command to start and stop the recording from your microphone of the cell phone. So just when I press the start button, no matter where the cell phone is, if it's kept in my pocket or if it's kept on the desk, anywhere it is, as soon as the start recording button is pressed, the microphone of the cell phone will be on and surrounding can be heard. So this is another danger option, and this is the major reason why many of the government offices, many of the government officers do not allow cell phone in their person cabin, even when people come for meeting, to avoid any kind of spying and the confidential data can be moved out. Okay, then there is a very important option of location tracking. This is very dangerous. We can actually keep a track on someone's live GPS location. So wheresoever the person is going, we can actually keep an eye in the real time on a live Google map. So this is very dangerous option. Anyone can be tracked remotely and live location can be viewed. Not only live location, but there is one more option with the name turn on live camera. Now this particular option allows me to switch on both front and rear camera of the cell phone without popping up any message, without displaying anything on the screen, and you can actually start the video recording. So nothing is displayed on the screen and you can exactly find where the person is and what is going on in the surrounding. Screen capture is nothing but the screenshot. You can see so many features are given in this one single application. So screen capture is taking the screenshot no matter what you are having or running on your screen. Just you can take the screenshot and you can view what is captured. Keystrokes recorder is nothing but the keylogger, which is going to record all the typed keystrokes. So whatever you are typing on, whether on the chatting messenger or the SMS or any web browser, everything will be recorded in plain format and it will be fetched in the database. We can also see install list of applications. We can install, uninstall any of the app if you want to. Social media has everything right from WhatsApp, Facebook, and many of the data is being easily fetched in the decrypted format. And internet activities has the browsing history option over here. So you can imagine so many options are given in the small APK file where this can be misused a big time. Now we are using it for the legal purpose only with the law enforcement, but many of the hackers have, unethical hackers have also developed such kind of things. Okay, so how this particular APK file is injected at a mass level. So when I talk about Chinese softwares and mobile malwares, again, certain allegations have been made against many of the Chinese applications as well, which are present on the Google Play Store. And many of them are considered as a malicious app. So if you install any of those particular application, indirectly you are granting majority of the access which you have seen to the company which is hosted in China. So, and not only targeting any one particular country, but allegations have been made against almost many countries across the globe, almost all the countries. And in the current time, yes, many of the softwares have been reported by many of the hackers which belongs to this particular nation. Okay, now the last one, which is actually DeepNude based on AI, artificial intelligence technique. DeepNude was launched last year, and because of various actions from the government, the websites which were running such things were suspended. Now again, during the lockdown period, it has suddenly evolved and new sites have been launched with the same facility and same service. What is this DeepNude is? DeepNude is basically based on artificial intelligence. It's a website or a web service which allows people to download any image and upload on their website, and it can undress that image and create the nude of it. So this is one of the very dangerous things. We have seen certain trending trends were recently live, or like sari challenge on Facebook and Instagram were live. Many of the females are wearing sari and posting their photos in public on the social media basically. So what these fraudulent people have done is they have downloaded such kind of photograph. They have created a nude image using the same, which looks very genuine using AI technique, and they started defaming or stalking the person whose nude is created. And they also demand ransom amount at times, saying that we will leak it in public on the internet if you don't pay us. So this is something which is live. Many of the websites have launched providing this facility completely free of cost. And of course, upon reporting it to the registrar, the site may get suspended, but there are many such sites which are live right now. So these are the top common 8 types of crimes which are happening very frequently, especially in this lockdown period, which you have to take care of and have to be safe from. We have covered up right from email phishing, SMS phishing, how e-commerce scam works, what is ransomware, and allegations against Chinese softwares. Also, we have covered up a topic of mobile malware, and I have displayed you a live malware, which I installed in my cell phone, and how the database was being fetched. And the last one we covered was the DeepNude, a technique based on artificial intelligence, which is used to undress any image. Okay, proceeding further. Now, since we know these are the common types of crime which are happening very frequently, if I talk about making sure that what are the good cyber hygiene techniques, like in the physical world environment, we have the hygiene techniques with us. We receive the recommendations and policies being made by the government, right from washing your hands frequently, using mask, etc. Now, this is what the cyber hygiene, this is what the hygiene technique of the physical world. In the similar fashion, we have to maintain the hygiene in the cyber world as well. So, in order to tell you about that, I would like to first begin with the term of cyber law. Now, when I say this word cyber law is not only for hackers hacking into anyone's computer. Cyber law is very wide. Cyber law is the law governing entire cyberspace. The law which governs entire cyberspace is known as cyber law. Now, the term cyberspace, which I have written over here, it has a very wide and very big meaning. What is cyberspace? Cyberspace covers all the technical and smart devices, as well as softwares, hardware, etc. To tell you, right from your laptop and desktop to your hard drives, pen drives, everything is a part of cyberspace. Even your softwares, even source codes, then websites, emails, internet, everything is a part of cyberspace. ATM machines, mobile phones, drones, CCTV cameras, all these are also a part of cyberspace. Any crime committed using any of this cyberspace is a cybercrime, and the case will be filed in cyber law. So this is what cyber law is. And now we don't have to get confused in a fashion where suppose I have an external hard drive kept over here and I pick that hard drive and throw it on someone to hit him. So that is not a cybercrime. But using the technology of that hard drive, if I commit any crime, then it's a cybercrime. So any crime committed using the technology of cyberspace, it's a cybercrime, and cases are filed in cyber law. Now, why I'm discussing this? Cyber law is formed globally. Every country has their own respective law. Even laws are divided state-wise. State acts are different. So I'm going to raise two concerns, not one concern, but actually two concerns basically between cyber law and technology. One thing which I have seen is cyber law and technology do not like each other on two different aspects. Number one, geolocation, and number two, evolution. When I use the term geolocation means geographical location. Law is territory bounded. I mean, for example, India's law is different from Sri Lanka's law. US laws are different from UK's law. Every country has their own respective cyber laws in place. So law is territory bounded. But when we talk about technology, there is no geographical foundation on the technology. I'll give you an example. Suppose I can visit GoDaddy US website, one of the registrar. I can register a domain name for myself. I can buy a hosting from any particular hosting provider like HostGator, and I can choose the server location somewhere in UK. I can host my website on that UK server. I can run an e-commerce business in any country like China by sitting in India on that website. So I don't require visa and passport to do this. I can simply visit the internet, go on the website, register it, and done. So technology do not have any geographical foundation, but cyber law is territory bounded. So many of the things which are illegal in many of the countries are legal in some of the countries. So people sitting in respective countries basically changes their IP or location or use the identity of different countrymen, and they commit such kind of crimes or they run such kind of things in a different country. The second thing about cyber law and technology where they don't like each other is evolution. The word evolution means upgradation or amendment, basically modification. Law never changes. Law always is amended. That is upgradation. Now, one big concern across the globe we have seen is even in India, where when you see the speed of upgradation of cyber law and you compare it with the speed of upgradation of technology, there is a huge difference. Cyber law is upgrading at a very slow, old pace, whereas technology is upgrading at a very high speed. So there are many technologies which are live right now for which no law is made. And when there is no law made for any particular thing, so it is not illegal. It may not be legal, but it is not illegal as well. And now the laws are in place which are still in the upgraded mode where they are still getting upgraded. To name few of the things in Indian cyber law, IT Act 2000 and its amendment, we have seen even the word Bitcoins, cryptocurrency were not added, and there was no clarity on it whether people are using it, it's illegal or legal. But RBI made certain statements, declare the ban on it. But recently, Supreme Court has made a new statement allowing trading and exchanging of Bitcoin in India. So many of the exchanges are live and back to trade again. So I'm going to discuss a thing about cyber hygiene techniques, where what are the things which we can do in order to maintain basically do's and don'ts, what to be done and what to be avoided. Remember, in order to stay safe and secure, the first thing we have to make sure is security of our credentials are good enough. Credentials means your passwords. Now, how to keep a strong password? Always remember, a strong password is the one which is big in length. Try to increase the length as much as you can. I prefer 14 or 16 characters long minimum. Then your password should be alphanumeric. Alphanumeric is basically a password where you have capital letter, small letter, numbers, and symbols in it. Also, you have to make sure you change your password frequently. Frequently, you can actually define a time frame, a month or 2 months. This is a basic cyber hygiene technique to stay safe against any kind of data leaks, password hacks, as well as brute force attacks. So everyone, whether you're on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, or you're using email IDs or Gmail, Yahoo Mail, or Rediff Mail, make sure to keep a strong password following the method which I have written on the screen. Second thing which you have to make sure is link verifications. This basically include where the things where you actually receive links either on email, WhatsApp messengers, any other chatting messengers, or over SMS. The links which you receive may be a malicious link, it may be a harmful link containing a phishing website, or it may be a link just to share the false information. So verification of link is must. We always suggest never click on any untrusted links received from unknown source, because this may contain a malware or a phishing link or any kind of spam or fake news activities. So always remember, try avoiding clicking on the link. But if there is a need, you have to verify. Always see few things. Number one, whether the website has HTTPS, that is the SSL certificate with it or not. Because the websites which are asking for credentials, they basically buy SSL certificate, all the reputed websites, and your username password details you enter goes in the encrypted format. But any person who is willing to perform phishing activity, he won't get the SSL certificate and the website won't resolve on HTTPS. Instead, it will resolve on HTTP only. So always verify whether the link has HTTPS or not. Number two, you can rely on many of the websites like virustotal.com, which allows you to enter the link and scan. You can actually check whether the link is malicious or being reported somewhere or not. And on an advanced part, you can, if you are downloading any particular thing, you can rely on sandbox kind of environment on a technical end, where you can actually verify whether any malicious software is getting installed and creating harm or not. Sandbox is basically the environment where even if the harm is done in that particular environment and your original system is safe. So two things I have written over here. Number one was about credential security. Number two is about link verifications. Now, these are the very common thing. And if you follow just these two things, I guess you are following almost 80 to 85% of the cyber hygiene techniques. Apart from this, third-party softwares. Always remember, whatever you're downloading and installing, maybe you are on your desktop, laptop, or on your cell phone. We always have to download the software from a reputed website and from our official Play Store and App Store, basically. Even after downloading from Play Store and App Store, there may be a possibility certain applications are malicious. You always have to limit your usage. Use the applications which are actually required by you, and try avoiding installing any software which you have received from unknown source. It may be a malware or a malicious application. One of the example of malicious application we have already seen recently, how dangerous that particular malware was. Okay, now apart from this, you have to be safe and secure from basic kinds of frauds which are basically performed by social engineering, by the fraudster. Social engineering means getting someone's password, credentials, or information just by talking to the person or fooling him around using some other techniques. So all the OTP frauds, the password which you receive on your SMS, you share it on call, even that come in the social engineering fraud, where hacker is basically scamming you. or any fraudulent person, not even a hacker, can actually perform this kind of attacks and scamming people around. We have seen a few of the cases recently being reported that people were trying to buy liquor online. When you go on Google and search buy liquor online in your particular place, certain unethical people, what they have done is they did certain advertisement and a fake SEO of the fake website where they say that we are selling liquor online and we'll deliver it to your home. It was till now was banned. Recently, government has allowed the sale of it, and there is no delivery was being done during the lockdown period earlier. Many of the people, in order to buy it, they used to make the payment online and ended up losing their money. Not only this, we have seen the liquor shop, the fake shop owner demands at least 50% of the online payment, and they ask for sharing the credit card information. So they get the details, including credit card number, CVV number, etc. And people ended up losing big amount. So I have prepared these 4 basic cyber hygiene techniques. The most important, keeping a strong password. Number 2, link verification. What software you click on, what links you click on, it's very important. Number 3, use of third-party softwares. Limit your usage, use only the applications which are required. Do not install any software received from unknown source. And the last one, social engineering attacks, which I have just shown. So I guess we have covered a decent amount of things, and I will definitely try to answer the questions which people are asking in the chat box. You can definitely ask me the question on chat box as well as directly to me on the call as well. So I just read out few of the questions. I have a question over here where the person is asking, what about the Zoom app security? Now, again, a very conflicting word. I've made many media interviews and media interactions revealing the vulnerability of Zoom. And again, Zoom based out of China. So, you know, we try to avoid usage of it. And even government of India has asked people to try to avoid using it. And even if someone is using it for personal use, they're given documentation saying policies or settings that needs to be done in order to have safety of the Zoom software. I have another question from Prem. He says, how can we safely use this apps and other apps? I didn't get it. Which apps are you talking about? If you're talking about any app from the Play Store, limit your usage. Almost all the application has a capacity of recording at least partial information that is sent to the application. Samir asked the question, the example of mobile malware APK I have shown, does it require the mobile to be rooted for complete functionality? No, yes, in rooted phone, it's very simple and a full-fledged access is given, but even in non-rooted phone, many of the things are working very fine and easily. I have a question from Deepa Nathwani saying, recently some amount has been deducted from her bank account using credit card, and she had not received OTP authorizing those transactions. And this has happened 4 times. She has filed the complaint. Okay, so any kind of fraudulent activity happening with your credit card, debit cards, or bank account, just try to find out whether the card is being cloned or you have shared the OTP and credentials. In both the scenarios, bank has a form of reporting the fraud and recovering request. So you have to fill that form in the branch. Maybe it is available online as well with certain banks. You have to fill that form and report it to the bank. Of course, the first priority is to get the card suspended so that no further transaction is happening. Also, you can file a complaint to the local cyber cell so that it is officially recorded and there may be a possibility the criminal is getting caught. Soham has a question. Can you explain what is Darknet? So Darknet is the place on the internet which is, I told you, has the top level domain as .onion. And since I said it is 96% of the internet, it has very, very dangerous motives behind it as well. So if I just go on Google and I search for things like Darknet, I actually get the graphs explaining how big the Darknet is. The internet which we use is actually kind of an iceberg on the top. You can see the graph which I am displaying you on the right hand side of my screen. The surface of the open web, the place where we actually are, is actually just kind of an iceberg to the actual internet. The remaining 96% is hidden inside, where all the illegal things are present. Even there are some good hacking things and genuine things as well, but the majority of the things are illegal. So even if you see, there have been the Silk Road and many other websites selling drugs online. One of the biggest drug market, it was on the darknet. Samir has a question whether we can use APKs in the virtual space instead of using in direct Android main OS. Yes, you can use it for testing purpose. Your virtual environment will be compromised. The main Android OS will be safe if you use it in the virtual environment. Prachi has a question: how to keep your mobile phone safe from different cyber attacks? As of nowadays, mobile number and email address is required for everyone. So, of course, India is working on its privacy laws. Certain laws have been launched as well. Globally, there have been multiple privacy laws being defined. There are websites which may demand you for your email ID and phone number, but they try to keep it a private and encrypted format in the secure database. They don't reveal it in public. With regards to getting safe from different kind of cyber attacks, I have already shared do's and don'ts. So that's the most important thing which you have to take care of, and you will be safe from any such kind of attacks. Samir asks, can you share your number, please? So you can just Google my name, you'll get my details, my number, my address of the office, my counselor's numbers, etc. And I'm very well available on social networking sites. So you can connect me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, wheresoever you are present, and I will definitely try to reply whenever I am free. Purushottam he do not have a question, but it's a feedback, I guess. Good presentation. Through I couldn't grab many things. The good thing is YouTube link, you can definitely replay it, and you can try to Google the things which I'm saying and try to get the information. It will help you out in the long run. Seema has a question. Sir, I would like to know, it's a private question actually. I should not take the name, but anyways, I have taken it already. I would like to know who is hacking our Facebook account if your account is hacked. So if your Facebook account is hacked, remember how the investigation thing works. Any website which you visit records your IP address. My screen is still visible to everyone. I just try to open a site. Example, I type google.com over here. I press the enter button. If you see on the left bottom side, it's India written over here. It's because I am in India. So I visit any of the websites like whatismyipaddress.com, and I see my IP address would be visible in public, which is 49 dot something something IPv4 of Jio Mumbai, Maharashtra, India. Google has recorded this IP address and seen a person from India has visited. So Google has given me a customized version of the website of India. Google has recorded my IP. It is not just Google. Any website which you visit on the internet has the capacity of recording your IP address. It can be Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, MSN, Yahoo, whatsoever. Now, in case of hack attack, once the complaint is filed, what the cybercrime officer does is he will send a letter to Facebook US, and he will say, please provide us the IP address of the person who accessed this particular profile at so and so duration and time. Facebook will respond only to law enforcement officers with the log of IP address. Once you get the IP address, you can simply visit any of the website like what is my IP address and search the ISP of that particular IP address. Police or law enforcement officer will basically send second letter, this time to ISP. And they will demand the KYC information of the person who was using particular IP address at particular duration, date, time. And this is how basically any criminal can be caught. Of course, it's a bit lengthy process, but yes, it's a working process. Things changes a bit when the person is using VPN and IP changer kind of things. But yes, this is the basic routine investigation method. Okay, so there is another question: how safe are banking applications? Banking applications are usually safe since they have undergone the audit. BAPT audit is being done on various application. Banks make sure to have the cyber audit being done frequently on their websites, on their applications, everything. So they are basically safe, but usually the hacking happens on this from the user end. So user have to take respective countermeasure at their end. Rest, when it comes to the web-based environment, it's bank responsibility to have the security for themselves. Monica has a question, what about the Arogya Setu app? I would try to avoid this question. Yes, it's a safe application. You should install it since government is asking you to use it. Deepak has a question, are Xiaomi phones easily accessible for cyber attacks? Nothing is easily accessible, but yes, certain allegations were made against the cell phone that hardware and trojans are installed and in the past. So that was the allegation made against the Xiaomi cell phones. Okay, so I would be, you can, many people are demanding my contact number. You can definitely communicate with me online. My details are visible online on the internet. Kirti has a question. What is the scope in cybersecurity and ethical hacking? One thing I would like to say over here is the scope is very wide. The number of cyber crimes are increasing at a very high rate. Indirectly, there is huge requirement of cybercrime investigators and cybersecurity experts. There have been scenarios, there is downfall and upfall coming up, uptime coming up in various various industry. But cybersecurity is but always happening industry. But this is the place where skill set matters a lot. So if you have a decent skill set, you have good certifications and knowledge with you, then definitely you have good scope. Remember, certification is just a piece of paper. No matter what certification you do, if you do not do well practice and you do not improve your skills. Aman Sharma has a question whether Android is safe or iOS is safe. So both are vulnerable if you don't take basic precaution measures, and both are safe if you take the precautionary measures. Yes, it is but obvious since Android provides a lot of open facilities and features, it is more vulnerable than iOS. Samir has a question, how to access darknet. You can definitely Google it. There is a browser known as Tor, T-O-R, that provides you the facility to access darknet. Okay, so many questions are coming up. I think we will be short of time and I would not be able to answer everything, but let me try to answer a few more questions. Does antivirus detect spyware and malware? Yes, the job of antivirus is to detect spyware and malware, but at the same time, you cannot completely rely on a single antivirus because there may be a possibility many FUDs and zero-day attacks or many new malwares are launched which are not detectable by the antivirus. So you have to take precautionary measures at your end as well. Deva has a question. Most of the everyday app asks for permissions to access your contact list, microphone, etc. during installation. Is there a way to avoid it? Many applications ask for this permissions and they forcefully demand the permission. If you don't allow this, they do not allow you to install the app as well. So there is no other option. If you're willing to install the app, we have to grant the permission in majority of the applications. Many questions, many people are asking, it is a good practice to keep your LinkedIn, Gmail account, etc. logged in all the time smartphone. Yes, there is no issue. Unless your physical access of the cell phone is safe, you can keep it active in the cell phone. You do not have to log out every time. Harsh asked the question, do you feel any scope in cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency, but obviously is increasing. If you see the market cap, it is increasing every day. There can be a scope, but I would rather prefer to talk on the part of blockchain, concentrate on the blockchain. So blockchain technology is something which is very happening and may have a good scope. In particular, cybercrime, how it is decided which country's laws will applicable. So the victim, the place of the victim where victim is sitting, the jurisdiction of his particular place will be applicable. So cyber cell, local cyber cell of the victim is the first place the victim should approach. And cybercrime do not have any jurisdiction basically, but the country where the person is sitting, that particular country's laws will be applicable. There is a question whether any free course of hacking available. Yes, you can just go on Google and there are many free courses available. I recommend you not only go with the free one, but there are many good paid certifications courses as well. Don't go with the marketing gimmicks and tactics provided across the internet. Go ahead with the genuine courses which are available and reputed courses with reputed people. You can search it online and you can undergo that training program. So there are many questions with regards to applications, installations. As I said, limit your usage. That's the only thing which I would say. Aman Sharma has a question, who is a black hat hacker? The black hat hacker is the one which is basically performing illegal activity and doing harm and generating some kind of revenue, money, etc. Right, from illegal money transfer to credit card, debit card hacking to hacking of databases, selling the data, etc. is the job of black hat hacker. They basically come in the category of unethical hacker. What is brute force attack? Brute force attack is an attack in which you use a combination of passwords to run the attack. I have done many sessions on brute force. You can just Google my name on YouTube and you'll get the sessions of brute force attack where I have tried hacking into live passwords as well. So I think we are coming to the conclusion of this session. I tried to answer majority of the questions. By any chance, if you think we have missed few of the questions, you can definitely just Google my name, or you can go on my company, Pristine Info Solutions. You can go through the website and go through the training portions, training courses available with us. You can also go to the contact us page and communicate with me. And I am available online. My email ID is contact@rizwanonline.com. Rizwanonline.com is my official website, and my email ID is contact@rizwanonline.com. And you can communicate with me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and any other social networking site as well. So I will conclude this session. I hope it was a nice session with the basic information that can be shared in a particular time frame. Thank you for the feedback. You can definitely write in the comment section as well.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rizwan, for the very excellent session that you had. And at the age of 17, when I think you're a wonder kid, and we are very fortunate to have you in this session. And during lockdown, all of us, I think, are overusing different sites, and because that is also one way of engaging, and you forget your tensions, you forget about COVID-19 and the webinars which are being conducted. And as you know that any invention or innovation or any discovery has both sides. Unfortunately, both sides are being exploited by human beings. We can only pray that God gave a good thought and good thinking thought process to human beings, that they use it for the benefit of mankind and not otherwise. Because everywhere, see, right from our childhood, we have been either writing an essay or we have been debating blessing or a boon. And I think that continues with this very, very excellent technology, IT, which has shrunk the entire world. And maybe the time is not far. Even from space, people have been able to communicate. So with this, we pray God that let goodwill prevail on each and every one. And you are in the holy month of Ramzan. I think you must be also fasting. So wishing you a happy Eid, which is soon going to come now. And once again, extending million thanks to you and good wishes to you, that you are a good ethical hacker, and you will also help the law in solving some very difficult cases, so that now it is at the country level that you need protection, and we cannot shy away from any invention. Technology is there to remain. We have to only see how we can protect ourselves. So we would like to thank our very darling Devi Prasad. He is the one brain behind with all these things, and he said, yeah, Mr. Rizwan Sheikh, I was a little skeptical whether with your busy schedule you will be coming and talking to our students. And we also have planned to have something more in cyber security, which DP and the entire IT department and computer science will get in touch with you. So with this, very good afternoon to all of you. I'm very sure people are also waiting, those who are not fasting, to have the lunch. But I think you had a very good pre-lunch session. So thank you very much, Rizwan, and thanks for your very valuable time.
Thank you.
Himanshu sir, you would, if you're there, you're any concluding
remarks
you would like to give?
No, madam, you said it. It was an excellent lecture. I really enjoyed it. Sir is an excellent teacher, I guess, because a good teacher makes the complicated things simple and doesn't complicate the simple things. So in that sense, sir, it was a fourth lecture in our 14th lecture in our series. So in one word, if I summarize your lecture, it was as beautiful as Chaudhary Ka Chand. So thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
We really enjoyed. And we wish you all the very best. And thanks for sparing time for all of us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And
everyone.
thank you, madam. Thank you, IT department. Thank you, IDP.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.